Sorry.
Hi. Try now.
All right.
Okay.
What we got going on?
All right. So, the overall strategy to this case is that, number one, having residue, gunshot residue, is done through a detection system that typically traces trace elements such as like barium, phosphate, those sort of things. I got a subject matter expert for the case, Sudi Gamich, who's going to speak to the effect of the things that fireworks leave, combustion engines if she can, key cutters, welders, all different sort of trades, activities, or professions.
That's my girl, Sudi.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so how's she an expert?
Well, she claims that she owned and operated a fireworks manufacturing company for a number of years and has been heavily in the subject for years now. Can name the different trace elements left behind by fireworks. Happens to know that gunpowder is used for a variety of fireworks. And in any case, the same elements are used in both, as well as welding equipment and combustion engines.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty expert to me.
Yeah, it's basically what I consider a relative expert, because if you basically poll the city on anyone knowing anything about this, she's the only one who can
Actually worked with those,
yeah, actually has a history of working on it that can be verified in some form and actually can speak intelligently about it. Like, she starts naming off these chemical compounds. I'm like, damn, okay, I have to write that down because I don't even understand what she's saying, but she's saying it.
Now, is there any other things that could possibly get those components on me from? For example, like, fireworks, one. A welder. I do actually have a welder. I did some welding.
Key cutting, that's another one.
Cutting keys at the courthouse?
Yeah, key cutting, because the metal in the keys with the grinder, it's like the number 3. I posted a scientific documentary evidence on the docket. That's evidence that I'm going to refer to the court and have the expert witness refer to. But I don't know if you have the time in mind for it. You can take a read at that. But essentially, it talks about, it's a college university paper that talks about the false positive results
of a
gunshot residue test.
Top level lawyer.
Which is basically a strip test that tests for trace elements of barium that are consistent with gunpowder. The other thing is that whether gunpowder ignited or not ignited leaves the same trace elements. So if you're someone who just plays with ammunition,
really
or makes their own ammunition, or just handles ammunition a lot, just the gunpowder itself will leave those trace elements on your hand. I noticed in photographic evidence of your possessions, there was ammunition in there. I got some questions to ask you. I was gonna get to that, and I figured maybe if you took the stand and you were to be asked a question on that, you could say something like, well, that's my lucky ammunition that I play with, something to that effect.
That's my grandpops from World War II.
Something like that, or I've had that on me forever. I just keep it in my pocket. The other thing I found out.
Suppositories. I like to put them up my ass. Something like that.
There we go. The other thing I got from her is that these trace elements can be rubbed, potentially from one person to another. Definitely with fireworks, she said, and she sees no difference why gunpowder would be any different.
Right.
I'm gonna park. Pull out my tablet.
You gotta respect this. She's putting a lot of effort in.
I'm gonna show you what I'm asking both Ruby York, and then if I bring you on the stand, are you comfortable on the stand?
Oh yeah, always comfortable.
Okay. Let's start with you so you can get an idea where I'm going with this with you. You'd be the last person I called, because your answers, the way I've designed it, should coincide with the supporting evidence from the other witnesses that I get out of them. But here we go. Do you remember being placed under arrest for the incident?
Yes.
Where were you when you were arrested for that?
I was bleeding on the ground underneath the building across from Senior Buns.
Why were you there?
I got shot down.
What brought you there?
I was just walking in the area after shopping at Senior Buns. may change that. Did I have burgers or food on me? Anything from Senior Buns? Food court food?
I gotta check.
Yeah, I said I was jogging. Also, what outfit was I found in this one?
It appears to be that exact outfit.
Okay. Well, originally I told them I was going through a jog through the neighborhood, so we could just stick with that. I had a tracksuit on. I was going through a jog. We could say I came from Senior Buns if I did have food court food on me, or just say I was jogging through the neighborhood. I have a property in Little Seoul, so it's not too far.
Yeah, you have like a big ass iced tea on you and like some kind of bacon cake or something.
Yeah, well, there we go. We'll say I came from the food court, and then I was going through a jog through the neighborhood, and I didn't drive a car because I don't live far.
Okay. Were you carrying a firearm?
No.
Did you discharge any firearm?
No.
Did anyone discharge a firearm near you?
Yes.
You know who?
One of the people that shot me. I don't have the exact names, but I'm sure you officers have those in the report.
Right. What exactly happened to you there?
Well, I was just going through a jog back to the neighborhood, and I had my headphones on, so I couldn't really hear too much. And all of a sudden, I see a bunch of people coming out and smoke flying through the air. And next thing you know, I got hit by bullets. There was people rolling, shooting. I guess I got caught up in the middle of a shootout.
Prior to the police, did anyone touch you? Now, this is a tricky question because...
Well, if I say yes, they're going to say I was robbed. If I say
yes.
no, it's better, so I'll say no.
Yes.
There was a person standing over my body, though, at the time.
Did any police handle you during this arrest?
Yes.
How many police?
Honestly, I can't recall, so which is the best to say?
If you think it was at least two, then at least two?
Yeah, I'll say at least two. Hard to recall the exact number.
Do you recall in what way they handled you?
Yes, they handled me on the ground of the scene. They gave me some medical.
Did you witness police firing at any point?
Yes.
Do you recognize any of those police to be the police that handled you?
Yes.
Would you be able to name them?
No, but it's probably my arresting officers.
All right, I won't ask that question then. Did the police perform anything on your hands?
Yes, they performed, well, they handcuffed me and, GSR'd me.
How many times did they GSR you?
Once, I believe.
Oh, really? Only once?
Yeah, only once.
Interesting. I see there's a few perfectly legal bullets in your inventory. Are those yours?
Yes, they're my great-grandfather's from World War II.
How long have you had those on you?
Well, you know, he gave them to me a few years back. More like a memorabilia thing for me. I carry around they bring good luck.
Are they sentimental?
Yeah, very sentimental.
Handle them often?
Yeah, I use them as a depository sometimes.
You own a vehicle?
Own a vehicle? Yeah, I own a couple.
Do you ever repair your own vehicle?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I'm not the best driver. I do crash a lot, so I'm usually working on the engine.
Did you repair your vehicle prior to incident 7330?
Oh, yeah, I repaired my vehicle a lot throughout the day before that.
How long prior was the latest time you repaired it?
Well, let me think. I drove to my Little Seoul house before I went on my jog, so it had to only be like maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes to jog to the food court, got my food, and then the whole situation. So probably around 10 minutes.
That's perfect. Here's the next tricky question. Do you have a place you reside? Now, I don't know if you obfuscate where you live or not, because that could be serious, or you actually have a declared residence. So
I have a house that is public at the courthouse.
Oh, okay. Do you need a key to enter?
Yes.
Have you ever needed to duplicate those keys?
Almost daily. I have a lot of people coming in and out.
When was the last time you cut a key, prior to 7330?
Probably about 1 hour before the incident.
Okay. Here's where I start to get funny. Are you an American, Mr. K?
Damn right.
Celebrate the 4th of July?
Damn right. July 4th and July 3rd.
In what ways?
Oh, the independence and independence. I like to shoot off fireworks, you know what I'm saying? Do some American shit.
Oh, okay. Do you prepare for this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you gotta make the fireworks, pack this, pack that. You gotta buy them, unpack them. You gotta set up the whole show. You gotta have it all set. You can't just go, all right, I'm gonna put down this little firework. It's an art. It's an art form.
So how far in advance do you start preparing for the 4th?
Oh, I start preparing 2 weeks out. You know, I don't like to do it all at once, so I just do a little bit each day.
So on June 29th, the date of the incident, you were in the midst of your 4th of July preparations. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. I was deep in it at that point because 4th of July was getting pretty close.
Are you able to equip a vehicle with upgrades?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually,
Now,
no, I can't.
Okay, so they're gonna we gotta be careful of perjury here. So if someone tries to call that card in, can they stat check you?
Yeah, they might go to the. Yeah, let's skip that one then.
Wait, I could reword that though to if you hang around anyone who does, maybe Vinny or something.
Yes, one of my best friends owns a repair shop.
All right,
but I hang out at my friend's repair shop a lot.
Yeah, so you'll say no to that, and I'll say, well, are you around anyone who does? And then you can go into that.
Okay, yeah.
When was the last time you were around your friend using a welding device?
Earlier that day as well.
Perfect. Now, just for your knowledge, this is what I'm going to grill Ruby with. Did you witness the defendant holding a firearm over the course of 7330? She's going to have to say no. Do you believe the defendant shot a firearm during this incident? She's going to say something along the lines of yes. I'm going to ask why. Then I'm going to ask, did she handle the defendant? Was the GSR performed? By whom? How many times? Was he handcuffed? Was he handcuffed before or after the GSR test? Because that'll get into if she's touching you up with hand. Yeah, that's the other question I have for you. When you were GSR tested, were you handcuffed first?
That I cannot actually remember. Do they have that written in the report? Like the actual, or can you see the report or no?
Yeah, I'm looking at the report, but I think the way Ruby wrote her statement was, just double check. I don't think she specified.
Yeah, because I do think they GSR'd me, then handcuffed me.
She treated you with Band-Aids. She says she then GSR tested. It was positive. Then searched and removed spike strips, but she doesn't.
Okay, so she was treating me before and then GSR'd me and then cuffed. So she had her hands on me while she was treating me. Is it a good one, though?
And then she talked shit in her statement.
What'd she say?
Mr. Kevin requested a lawyer. Abilene, Mr. Kevin wanted another officer to process him because York mentioned that Mr. Kevin can be difficult to deal with at times.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. I was not being difficult, I'll tell you that.
I know you weren't. I think she was. Right. She didn't specify, so if you can't remember, I mean, answering along the lines of, I think it's possible she did handcuff me. You don't remember, and she hasn't written it, and it doesn't come out in her verbal statement.
Well, we could just say she gave me medical treatment before she GSR'd me.
That's absolutely correct, actually. She literally.
That way we're not lying, and it goes up with her story, and then we have like, listen, she was touching all over me before she GSR'd me.
Yeah, bandaging you up.
And she's been shooting people all day.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna ask her that in the question.
Yeah, if she's been shooting people earlier.
Okay, so then I get into the handcuff thing with her. And I'll ask her, did she handle you to treat wounds? So we'll get that out. Then I'm gonna ask her, what is a GSR test? She's gonna say, well, it's a gunshot residue test. And I'm gonna say, well, how does that work? And she's gonna say, I don't know. I'm not the scientist who built it, or something like that.
It's gonna be great to beat Ruby in court.
Then I'll say, gunshot residue, how long does that remain in the area? And she's gonna say, I don't know. I asked her the same thing in the cells when we were talking, and she said she doesn't know. To your knowledge, has any member of the police ever tried to test how long this GSR detectable residue remains detectable? She's gonna say, not that I know of. Okay. Do you carry a firearm? Did you discharge your firearm at all during the day of June 29th? Did you touch anyone that did discharge a firearm prior to engaging in 7330? Here, officers, do officers test fire their weapons at a range? How often do you? When was the last time for you, and was it good for you?
Perfect.
And yeah, and that's all I'm going with her, because anything else she's gonna say is speculation. She didn't see you fire. None of the officers saw you fire. None of the officers saw you with the gun. And the picture I'm looking at you on the ground, there's not even like any ejections or cell casings around your body whatsoever.
Yeah.
Earlier I met with Sudi. I asked her a bunch of technical questions in the same line of all this.
She's been doing her work with this, man.
Selena Frost, I don't have a lot for her. I wanted to call her as a witness for a backup. I'm just gonna ask her a few things, like, does she know what a GSR test is? Like, you know how that works.
Yeah.
Just to show multiple officers don't know what this thing is. It's just a piece of equipment that was given to them. They put it on their belt, and then they say, oh, this person definitely shot. But they need to learn that it's nothing more than a trace residue test, and can lead to false positive if someone's involved in other activities.
Okay.
All right, I'm very comfortable putting you on the stand, and I told you it wouldn't be a long meeting. That was about it. You know how I'm gonna go at Ruby. You know how I'm gonna go at you. Yeah.
Yep, and I know not to dig myself a hole. Don't give too much. Don't be too specific with times, because then they can, you know, all this type of stuff.
1000%, and that's why even with like one thing I really needed to talk to you was like the residence thing. I'm like, I don't know if he has a residence he wants to declare that he cuts keys to, so I needed to ask you about that.
Yep, I definitely have one, and I could back that up.
Okay. All right. Perfect, Mr. K. Where are you going?
Back to the apartments will be perfect.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I gotta say, you're probably the best lawyer I've ever worked with.
Hey, gotta experience it to find out.
You really did your homework.
I always do.
Shit, I might start taking more people to fucking court then.
I told you, just bring them to me. I got you.
You know, Damien's not a lawyer anymore, right?
I don't know. If he is, he doesn't practice often. I don't really see him.
Because he might have a big case. I was there. So I was getting chased. My car went out. And I just saw Damien at the intersection. He wasn't even with me. I ran to him, hopped on his bike. I told him I was going to snap his neck if he doesn't drive. The cops tased him and end up running over his bike and blowing it up.
Okay, so suing the cops on behalf of Damien, is that where we're going with this?
Yeah, it would be. I wouldn't really be involved. It would just be him. But that could be another good case.
Yeah, sure. Damien is free to call me anytime for that. And,
yeah, maybe I'll give him a call and recommend you.
Okay. Also, you're voting for Nino?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm part of his cabinet. We intend to do big things.
Perfect. Who you voting for Blaine?
I'm not voting for Blaine because I'm not a resident. Unless you got someone you think I should vote for. I don't know if we can vote for two. If we can, I'll go with whoever you're voting for.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of up in the air. You know, just kind of see what happens. I do own a property, but it's in someone else's name.
No, you on radio?
But I might just transfer it back to me so I can vote.
I think one of the judges was saying for this very first election, they're gonna let they may let everyone just vote for both, and then once properties start to get purchased and sorted out, then they're gonna draw a distinction.
Okay, yeah. All right,
Cool.
if you need anything else, just let me know.
Yeah, I just think tomorrow, I don't know, you're busy, but your schedule's like maybe like at least a half an hour before the case. We just kind of
Yeah, I'll
mentally,
be there.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. All right, Mr. K, bye.
All right, you take care.
So,
Where'd Chip just run to? Chat, honestly, man, love to see that. I've never seen someone put so much work into a case like that. Actual research and... Hello. I got a car.